As you know, I have a love of obscure things in the world of football, and that love has taken me on a journey today. It has taken me on a very real journey through a whole bunch of stuff that I didn't anticipate needing to go through, but that I have gone through nonetheless, because you deserve the story. And I'm in the trenches. I'm on the front line. I'm wearing the bulletproof vest with the big old news guy helmet. And I'm getting down there and I'm getting you the answers. The answers that you didn't even know you wanted until I found them. You see, in order to find this answer, I had to go to the Indonesian second division. Another big league that we get to talk about today. And that's because I got tagged in something. Sometimes it's this simple. I got tagged in something and it sent me spiraling down a rabbit hole. Now, all I am given as context for this is what I'm tagged in, which is a truly exceptional vertically cut video of gameplay in the Indonesian second division. And first of all, it is just some captivating stuff. Now, my first ever managerial job in Football Manager was in the Indonesian second division, so I can't say a bad word about it too much. I had a great time there. The quality, they're still a lot better than me, let's be honest. So we've got the yellow team here, at this point, not necessarily been identified, playing a through ball. This guy, seemingly onside, is able to track it down on a bit of a bobbly pitch here, cuts it inside one defender. Now we've got two defenders going with him. This dude in the middle's wide open. Sick cutback here. I know I'm going on a tangent, I'm telling a whole story, but can we take a moment for this cutback? Because if you did this, if I did this, if we did this in a men's league match, in Sunday league, it'd be the highlight of your life. Look at this. He's got two dudes stumbling over each other like they're both stepping on Legos here. The man puts down a perfect slide tackle on his own player. He should get a yellow card for how much he's cleaned out his own player. They should get a penalty for how much that guy has fouled his own player in the box. Absolutely brilliant. This guy's gone for a full scissor-kicking slide tackle here and not gotten any of the ball, and he's managed to destroy his own player. This guy, on the other hand, actually, that he did touch the ball. He touches the ball there. This cutback's not nearly as good as it looks initially. I think he touches the ball and it just kicks back, in which case, terrible defending. He actually gets to the ball and manages to knock it directly into the path of the attacking player. Not a sick cutback. He does make a nice little pass. And this guy, honestly, this pass is satanic because this guy's wide open. There's no need to zip it in there on the short hop the way he did. But shout out to this guy right here for being able to direct it into the back of the net. But why are we focused on a goal from the Indonesian second division? Well, I would argue we don't need a reason. Why do we need a reason to talk about a goal from the Indonesian second division? I mean, you saw it. This was some serious quality, but no, we do have another reason. It's this guy. He's chasing the ball. Maybe if he goes for the full 360 Spider-Man bicycle kick, he's able to get to it. He's not. And it trickles into the side netting. So it's a bit of an awkward finish here. Left-footed dink into the net, and then the player goes into the net. Right? He goes flying into the net and he gets caught up, as we see so many players do get caught up. I mean, honestly, anytime you're a defender that ends up going into your own net or a goalkeeper, it's like trying to chase a ping pong ball around. It's very humbling. There's no way to do it in a sexy way. You're not going to come out of it looking cool. Or you could drop Matthew McConaughey into a goal net and he would be struggling to get out of it in a way that would make everybody go, oh, that's rough. So this guy lands in the net. And he is clearly a little deflated because he basically is he's just sitting there. Okay, he's in the background of a fairly muted goal celebration. He's just sitting in the net. But there's something concerning. There is a concerning development as the net is starting to lean. I mean, we can see it even right now. Right when he hits the net here, you see this net. It just leans, right? But you're thinking, well, yeah, that's because there's a full-grown man sitting in it. But no. This was an indication of a much deeper institutional issue going on here in the Indonesian second division. An institutional issue that we are about to expose through this wonderful journalistic expose that I'm putting together. I want to be very clear. This isn't journalism. I'm not a journalist. I'm just a fan. But as much as we see our friend in the back of the net there, right as he leaves the frame, we see that issues might be developing, right? He's trying to get up, and to get up, he pulls on the net, and he seems to go further backward. And we see the post lean further backward. This is a problem. This thing's begging for mercy. Indonesia, lots of rain, moist soil, right? This thing is hanging on for dear life. Muted celebration continues, though. That's what the cameraman's focused on, but that's not what I'm focused on. In the corner of this shot, we see the pole continuing to just beg for mercy here as this guy tries to get up. The goalkeepers actually come over to try and help him up. The referee at this point is realizing there might be an issue going on with the goal, and then you hear the crowd. It's always the crowd that's going to be the one that tells you what's really happening on the field. And the crowd starts to go nuts. And there's a reason the crowd starts to go nuts, because that pole that's been begging for mercy, well, it's collapsed. The goal has been completely ripped out of the ground. Dude, not only did you concede a goal, but then you fell into your own net and literally knocked your own goal down. That's the goal you're supposed to be defending. This is like trying to defend a castle and accidentally wheeling one of the cannons around and blowing a hole in it yourself. Right? Which, by the way, this sort of thing actually happened a lot in antiquity, especially in poorly crafted, poorly casted cannons. If you shoot a cannon and it is not strong enough in constitution to fire the projectile that way, it will just blow up. And if you have a bunch of cannons on the wall and one or a few are poorly cast, and you try to fire that cannon, you just set a bomb off on the top of your wall. There is more than one siege throughout the course of history that ended up being blown wide open. I know, I'm that good. Because somebody did this. This is the modern equivalent of accidentally blowing open a hole in your own wall. Although this makes it harder to score, I would argue. I mean, I don't even know how you get the ball into the net. But maybe, according to the rules of the game, as long as it goes over the line in the area where the goal is supposed to be, then it's a goal. But of course, part of the, you can't kick field goals to score points in soccer, right, in football. And so the height of the goal is something that determines whether it's a goal or not. And so I would, what really happens is that the rules of the game tell you that you're just supposed to put the goal back up. And that's what these guys, they had to break out the entire field crew. But what you haven't noticed until now is that the player is down injured in the goal, which is the most football tomfoolery nonsense thing I've ever seen. So not only is the goal down, he's now, I don't know, faking an injury. I don't know what could have possibly happened there. He's laying down while these guys are trying to put the goal back up. You've got the medical team that's trying to treat this guy in the goal. Which I can't even, it's the most absurd thing. But the rabbit hole this sent me down, because I don't like to show you a video like this and not tell you exactly what match it came from. That just bothers me. I want to know what match it came from, just so there's more context to it than just a clip. And that was very hard to find out here, because the only clues we have are Second League of Indonesia, which we could also figure out from the sideboards here on the video, and it's the 84th minute. We also have that this was tweeted out on 6 a.m. December 8th. And so I know that this is probably something that's happened recently. As I translate this, as they're not saying, hey, remember when, this is something that happened fairly recently. So I go to the Indonesian second division. Unfortunately, not too many matches were played over the course of like this weekend. Basically from the 6th of December onward is where I've decided to set up my search parameters. And I know the goal is scored in the 84th minute. So we can remove all of these 0-0 matches, because this goal definitely counted. And then you just look for a goal in the 84th minute. Rather strangely, there were 2 goals in the 83rd minute, which that would have sucked. But there was only one match in which a goal was scored in the 84th minute. And that would be Persikota Tangerang against Persicabo 1973, with Persicota Tangerang scoring its sixth and final goal, which explains the muted celebrations to complete an utter rout of Persicabo. And Persicota Tangerang is in fifth, Persicabo is in dead last. So if you want to insult to injury, not only are they dead last in the league, they have now managed to knock down their own goal. Which kind of explains why that dude kind of just wanted to lay down and be injured and just try and bring the match to a close.